Hi there and welcome to today's Pilates session. We are working today with exercises to help you with degenerative disc disease, which sounds a pretty awful sounding name, but is actually perfectly normal. As we get older, our posture starts to suffer. We tend to start to get a little bit rounded, a little bit hunched, and because of that, the spine and the discs start to compress. And this plays an enormous impact on your L4 and your L5 region, just around that lumbar region in that lower back. And because of that compression, it starts to cause all those aches and pains, and because of the trapping and the pushing on the nerve, can also lead to sciatica as well. So today I'm going to be looking at some nice simple exercises that you can do at home to help release and relieve that pain straight away. So you're going to need yourself a nice comfortable surface to work from. This can be done in bed as well, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, often a great way to get yourself started. We'd recommend a pillow as well, just for comfort reasons. And then the first thing we're going to do is, before we make our way down to the mat, is just go with our pelvic tilt. So to help align the body, keep the pelvis well balanced, and therefore that's going to help protect and support the spine. We are going to just roll gently through that pelvis area. Now you're tilting with your pelvic floor, tilting the pelvis forward and back. And when you're tilting, you want to imagine that the pelvis is acting like a bucket. And if you can imagine that that bucket is full of water, all you want to do is just sit the bucket in the center so the water doesn't pour, and then we've just got everything in its place. So everything's well balanced, everything's neutral, everything's aligned. And because now the pelvis is even, we can now start to engage through the core, engaging through the core, which acts as like a belt. So the back is supported. We can just start to take a moment to activate through the core muscles. So you can place your hands to the belly button or just below into the rib cage. And you can take an inhale through the nose. And then as you breathe out, you're almost going to feel the belly button just pulling towards the spine. It's that feeling as if you're trying to flatten your tummy. So then you are engaging through the core and your back is supported. You can just imagine a belt, a sheet just wrapped around the torso. So when you're engaging through the core, that back is always supported. So you're just going to take a moment there so you can just feel that activation taking place. You're inhaling through the nose, you're exhaling through the mouth, and you can activate through the pelvic floor muscles. Imagine that you're trying to stop yourself from going to the toilet. So then you get the deep pelvic floor muscles there starting to work as well. And then we can just hold and breathe, and activate and switch on. Keeping the shoulders relaxed as well as you do this. And then we are ready to make our way down. So we're going to lay ourselves down. Again, just some form of support for your head always helps. So let your head rest down, cushion, block, ball, whatever you have. And then as you make your way down, that pelvic floor movement that we did standing, we're now going to do laying down. So when you're down, and you may find it easier to do with your hands on your hip bone, is tilt the pelvis. So from there we tilt up and we tilt back. So as you're tilting, you're going to feel that back, that arch in your lower back, lifting so the arch becomes bigger. And then when you go the other way, you can feel the back starting to just drop and completely flatten into the mat. And we are going to do that tilt like we did when we were standing, and until we go halfway. And there we are, aligned in the centre. You've got a natural curve in the back, and the core is ready and engaged. And we just hold. You can feel the belly button draw down to the mat. As you feel the belly button sink in, again, you don't want to push the back into the floor. You keep that natural position. You keep that natural and neutral curved arch in the back without pushing the back into the mat. And then from there, we're just going to take a moment to relax. So you're just going to let your core muscles relax. And then you're just going to take one knee and just bring the knee in towards your chest. And you're going to breathe out as you do that. Then we're going to change, switch over, and then do the same on the other leg. Just tucking that knee in, and then we do both together. And this is just going to create a lovely feeling and just relaxes through that lower back area as we just hold for the moment. And then bring your legs back up. So they're semi-supine position. And then when you take your arms out and turn the palms up, and then bring your knees and feet together. Now from there, I want you to drop those legs, drop those hips just slightly down to your left. Now, drop slowly because you want to feel calm and relaxed. If you start to feel any strain, pinching, stabbing sensation in that lumbar region, in that lower back where you've been getting the pain, if you feel anything, you're going to stop. You're not going to go any further than you can. If you're able to drop all the way, just keep going. Really important that you keep the shoulders down because that's going to allow a full length stretch through that area in that lower back. Because if we take the shoulder away, it just lets everything rest. It requires no work and no effort and no stretch. So when you're ready to, make your way up. We then drop the other way. So dropping the other way. Again, those arms stay down. You're going to slightly turn the head as well. And then you come up. Now you can rotate and alternate, I would say 3 or 4 times each side. And again, you're only dropping your leg as far as you feel comfortable. If it starts to strain, stab, pinch, that's it. You don't go any further from there. And if you do feel that, that's when you want to bring your knees back in and hold. If you're feeling okay, then you're just going to continue to drop. Again, just gently taking your time and always exhale as you drop. And then pause and breathe in and exhale to come back up. And then return. So completed around 3 to 4 movements each side on both legs. And then you can just make your way back down onto the mat. And then just taking it a little further from here, because we're going to just straighten that left leg. Arms wide. And bring your right leg now into a sort of tabletop position. Now from here you're going to cross. Now you're only going to cross as far as the back allows. Again, pinching, stabbing, we don't go any further. Just hold the arms out wide there. Bring that right leg just slowly crossing over. The further we go, obviously the more that's going to increase. So you stop when you feel it's enough. If it pinches, if it stabs, you take it back up until it feels okay. Now we can hold that position. If you're okay holding that position, we can extend further by slowly straightening the leg away. That's just going to lengthen through your hamstrings, and that's going to shoot all the way through the hamstrings, through your glutes, into the lower back. And again, relax, return, come back over, keeping those arms wide as well. And then we just slowly drop. And we change. We go the other way. We take our time when we're crossing because one, we want to keep this shoulder and this arm on the floor. That's really important because as soon as we take it away, it then releases that stretch. We want to keep that stretch on. So keep that muscle stretched. Keep that arm out. It's going to help with your back as well, through the top and center. And then again, slowly adjust where you need to. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. And then we shall bend and return. So when we return and we come up, you might want to do one. If you feel okay to do it again, just do once more in each leg. And then just return into that center and just roll into a hug. Now from there, a lot of work done in releasing that pain in the lower back. So now we can start to just engage and work on the core a little bit more. So if we keep our legs in that semi-supine position, let's take our hands and just cross that over the chest. Now from here, we're going to take the head and the shoulders and the top of your back away from the mat, which allows you to engage through the core. So you're taking inhale as you lay. As you breathe out, we lift and we hold and we return. So we are only lifting from the neck and from the top of the back, pausing and breathing in. So when you lift, you can start to feel almost the rib cage being pushed to the mat, and you can feel maybe a slight tremor, a slight shake. So you've got the core engaged, but your back is always supported as well. Bringing those arms across the chest, just make it slightly more challenging. Make your way down. Breathe in. And up we come. Hold and engage. You're holding probably 3 to 5 seconds, not too long, because if we start to tense up through the neck and through the head, that tension may become uncomfortable. So we're going to keep the hold at the top fairly low, quite a small 3 to 5 second count. And in terms of repetitions, we're going to aim for about 4 to 5. If you need to do less, feel free. You're probably not going to go too many more from there. And then we'll come down. So from there, once again, let's bring those knees in like we did at the very start, into that little bit of a hug, into that release. Now, for the next one, I'm going to turn over. Now, this one may start to feel uncomfortable. So we're going to change this one depending on levels. And I'm going to start with a very basic one and work our way up. Once again, if it starts to stab, if it starts to pinch, you are just going to stop. Now, if we begin from our mat, and if we start just on our forearms, and just bring them to the floor with your hands just stacked one on top of the other. Just let the head drop into the pillow. And then take an inhale. And then as you breathe out, you're just going to lift your head and your shoulders. Now, from there, as you're lifting, you're almost curving the spine. So we are strengthening by extending the spine. Now, from here, if you're getting a pinching, stabbing sensation in that lower back, all we're going to do is drop, okay, until we can't feel anything. And you're just going to build up from there. And then we lower. Now, if you're feeling okay and you want to continue, then as you lift your head and shoulders, you just lift that little bit more. So you can feel almost with that spine is peeling its way off the mat. Now for our head position, try not to look forward, because then you shorten the neck. So you're almost looking straight in front, straight down towards the top of your mat, towards your pillow, and then lower. Now we can change from there. So if you still feel okay, you're then going to just take your hands out wide and just go to your forearms and then lift away again. Keep the forearms down. You're going to be lifting a little bit more this time. So go with how you're feeling, pinching, stabbing. Don't go any further than there. And if you still feel okay, you can then progress to full length of the arms. So you're almost pulling away. Now what you want to do is you want to keep the pelvis, the hips down towards the mat. You don't want to lift, you want to stay down, which allows that spine to strengthen. So again, hold not too long, and then make your way down when you're ready. And rest. And relax from there. So with that last one, you're going to repeat maybe 2 or 3 times. Go with the variations which work for you. Again, pinching, stabbing means it's too much, which means you just want to drop the level down and then progress by doing a little bit of this each day, and that will gradually improve and therefore help to strengthen through that spine and help you to just deal with that degenerative disc disease in a much more comfortable way, build up the strength, and then we can just completely release those aches and pains from your lower back.